What's up, everybody? Welcome back to New York City. I believe right now New York City is on flood watch. We could have some flash flooding in the city. And I also believe we have like a coastal tide warning too. So we're just going to be walking around here for a little bit, checking out the city. It is Saturday, so welcome to the weekend, everybody. What a difference a few thousand miles makes, right? Gary Carpenter, what's going on? Ace Options Trading. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to New York City. This is the corner of 3rd Avenue and East 30th Street. Walter says you should have just stayed in Miami. I know, trust me. I'm definitely contemplating that for sure. Nia, Hal T, what's going on? Lance, Abdullah, Sharon. Now, guys, tomorrow's going to be a pretty big live stream, very important live stream. We're going to be covering a lot. But tonight we're pretty much just going to be hanging out. I think there's a Rangers game going on at Madison Square Garden, so that's pretty cool. You know, when I landed at JFK, I took the air train from Jamaica, or I should say I took the air train to Jamaica, and then once I got to Jamaica Station, I took the Long Island Railroad to Penn Station, and there were so many Rangers fans. So assuming that there's a big game going on, best of luck to all our Rangers fans out there. Now, this umbrella I got, it has all sunflowers on it, and it's kind of like I'm living in a dome. It's like a big dome umbrella with sunflowers. So as we're walking the city, there's a 10 out of 10 chance that we look absolutely hilarious and ridiculous, but it's keeping us dry. So that's really all that matters. Mia says, go Rangers, absolutely. You know, guys, it's funny because I woke up at like, I don't know, I want to say 8:30 this morning. I did some work around the house. And then I took the Vespa all the way to Wynwood, Miami. And Wynwood was absolutely gorgeous tonight. Or I should say earlier today, it was absolutely gorgeous. Wynwood. It was 82 degrees, bright sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. And I was sitting outside having coffee. I went to Panther Coffee, which now actually has a location in New York City, by the way, which is great. But then, you know, we get on the plane, and once we cross over in New York, it is like a crazy rainstorm. So it's kind of wild, right? Kind of wild. Hey, D, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Boston City Limits, Diana. Now, not only is the rain coming down pretty hard, as you can see, the wind's picking up too. It's really windy. I'd assume that we're going to have a lot of flooding in the boroughs. You could already see that some of the storm drains have started to back up here. Can't even drain properly. That wind is wild. So let's cross over to 7th Avenue. Hey, DC322, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. Dr. Carl. What's up, Dr. Carl? Appreciate you being here. John Sunderland says, hey, Tom and teams of John. Now, from my understanding, the UFC 399, right? Or 299 is taking place right now at the Kaseya Center in downtown Miami. Pretty cool. I think I left it probably the worst time. I probably should have stayed one more day, but I have to be up early. I have a few showings down in Tribeca. Adrian, what's up? Swearworks says, Tom, love the floral umbrella. Yeah, well, I mean, we're rocking it big time here on Walks on Wall Street. And the thing I like about this umbrella, it's like dome shaped. So I could actually kind of like walk and live under the umbrella. We do look quite ridiculous, but you know, What matters is we're staying dry. So let's do that. Let's head up towards Penn Station, and then maybe we'll see the people coming out of the Rangers games. I know, TK Porsche. So Tom, let's get back to Miami ASAP. Who needs this weather? Trust me, you and me both. Definitely not the best time to come back to New York, but guys, let's look on the bright side, right? The bright side is that on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, or excuse me, I should say Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous in New York. It's going to be like 60 degrees out and sunny. And a 60-degree day is like an 80-degree day. You know, if we're kind of comparing the two between New York City and Miami. So I think the city's going to be rocking this week. I think there's going to be a lot of good things going on. So it's going to be back. Ace options trading is just one more period left for the Rangers. It's on intermission. What's the score, by the way? Not a big hockey guy, but I'd like to get into hockey a little bit more. Love to go to a couple Rangers games. Now, I know it's Saturday, so we usually don't talk too heavy on the financial topics. But did anybody receive their Barron's newspaper today? Now, the Barron's cover story, yikes. Whoa. We're gonna have to pump the brakes a little bit on this bull market, I'm afraid. And you know, Friday's action in the market, particularly on a lot of the true market leaders, the Nvidias, a lot of the stocks that have been going gangbusters. There was a ton of selling pressure. There was a lot of outflows from enterprise software, all the leading sectors, right, that initially drove this market higher. So enterprise software, IT, semiconductors, big reversals there. And then you have this contrarian indicator, you know, of the big cover story of Barron's. And by the way, I'm not sure if anybody reads The Economist. The Economist had a very, very similar, you know, ultra bullish headline last week. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually enter our first correctional phase of the new bull market in the next coming week. So we'll see. Which is good, because then that'll set us up for a, well, nothing's guaranteed, but that'll set us up for a very, very nice summer. Very, very nice. Hey, Esmeralda says, what's up, Tom? And friends, this weather does not look too comfortable. Yeah, it's definitely not too comfortable. I was in 82 degrees. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with Wynwood, Miami. If you're visiting South Florida, in and around Miami, it's just a really cool place to visit. It reminds me a little bit, this is Park Avenue. You know, Wynwood reminds me of two specific places in New York City. Number one, it reminds me of Soho. But if I had to merge two neighborhoods, I would also say that it reminds me of Greenpoint, Brooklyn. It's very, very cool. It's like a pretty interesting hipster vibe. Oh, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode. But check it out. Yeah, if you are ever in Miami, check out Wynwood. Go to the Wynwood walls. You can see all the art. There's just so much stuff going on there. And if you ever feel like you're missing New York City when you're down there in Miami and you're in Wynwood, not to worry, because you can just go to Joe's Pizza. They opened up a brand new Joe's right in Wynwood, which is pretty cool. Hey, Flat Smack, good to see you. Super White Shadow says I was born in Greenpoint. I really like that neighborhood a lot. Now, I used to live on DuPont Street. I'm sure you're familiar if you were, you know, that's where you're from. Now, guys, this is looking directly north into Grand Central Station and the MetLife building. And right here is supposed to be One Vanderbilt, but it's so rainy that you can't even see it. Kind of crazy. But yeah, you know, right as you go over the Pulaski Bridge and you hit DuPont, I was the second building in, which was a great neighborhood. Not a big fan of the winter though. Hey, Ren 1018, what's going on? Thanks for joining us on this rainy night. Lark Bark says, hey Tom, it's definitely pouring. Yeah, we definitely know we're back in New York for sure. This is the 33rd Street station. You can get the 6 train there. Stan, what does Stan say? It's going to be tough for me to read some of the comments tonight. Stan says, Tom, you have more energy than the Energizer Bunny. You know, we try, guys. We try. You know, look on the bright side, right? It's raining, it's horrible today, but that's setting us up, you know, for a great week. It's kind of like when the market's in correction, right? The market's in correction, you're seeing your portfolio go down. You know, you're walking in the rain, it's cold, it's miserable, but then it doesn't rain forever, right? The market's not in a correction forever. You know, you get these rip-roaring bull markets, and you also get these beautiful days in Manhattan, which I'm looking forward to on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Hectic says, try not to be too exposed to the weather. I think you should return to the comfort of your home, bro. Yeah, I think I'll do whatever I want, to be honest. No, but I'm just trolling you. I appreciate the concern, though. I probably should be home relaxing, but, you know, then what are you guys gonna do? You know, who's gonna walk around the city, have a good conversation, hang out? You know, someone's got to do it. Now, this is the Wolfgang Steakhouse. Pretty good. I still prefer Del Frisco's here. I should say I prefer Del Frisco's to Wolfgang's, to be honest. Maybe we'll have a walk down Koreatown. Let's actually do that since we're here. Hey, good to see all of our viewers from Argentina. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. I spent a lot of time in Little Buenos Aires, 72nd Street, Collins Avenue by the new band shell. And that whole area is being redeveloped. It's pretty incredible. Now, I thought that the boardwalk that they had, right, before, right there on the water, was perfect. They ripped the whole thing out and they're doing a complete new redevelopment. And all of those old condo motels that were knocked out by the hurricane, those are all coming out and they're going to build luxury condominiums. So I think the next hotspot in Miami in terms of construction is going to be North Beach. You already have a huge pipeline of new development. You could check out 72 Park, which is the newest development that's gone up right on 72nd Street. And 2 blocks away is my favorite coffee shop of all time. So it's going to be interesting to look back on some of our walking videos in North Beach in 5 to 10 years time. And, you know, my prediction is that you're going to see some of these high rises like you see in Sunny Isles Beach, but right on North Beach. It's going to be crazy to see. It's going to be really, really wild. All right, this is 33rd Street now. And Madison Avenue right here. We're going to go down one more to 31st Street, and then we'll make a right. Because I want to show you guys one of my favorite Korean restaurants of all time. Hey, it's PB. What's going on? It says, hello, asking all NYC peeps. I know Long Island can be expensive, but what is the Amityville area like? Amityville's all right. I grew up not too far away from there. Amityville's okay. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's okay. You know, if you take the Babylon line right out of Penn Station. So you go Penn Station, then you go, usually it goes Jamaica, and then if you go express, it goes Rockville Center, Baldwin, Freeport, Belmore, Wantos, Seaford, Massapequa Park, then Amityville. So I usually get off at Massapequa Park, one stop out east, which would then be Suffolk County, is Amityville. So it's a little bit far out. It would probably take you about a little over an hour on the Long Island Railroad. But you have to watch for some flood zones too in Amityville. If you send me an email, I can give you some more specifics about the area, because you know there's some not so great parts of Amityville, to be quite honest. Hey, Will M, what's going on? Cheers, Tom. Thanks. I was wondering about that the other night. What's up, Will? You've probably also heard of Amityville from the Amityville Horror House. Not sure if anybody remembers that story. It's actually a real place, by the way. You could drive past it. Kindness is here. What's up, Kindness? All right, I want to point out this right here. I forget the name. I'm horrible with names. This is like an underground kind of speakeasy bar, but it's Korean. It's very, very cool there. You could probably just Google 32nd Street in between 5th and Madison, Korean bar. It's very cool. It's underground. It's in the basement of the building. Now, this used to be the Baekjeon. Does anybody remember that? This used to be the best Korean barbecue place in Korea. I don't know if it went out of business, changed ownership, but the entire facade is completely different. And it looks like it's a new K barbecue place that overtook Baekjeon. Interesting to see kind of that materialize. You have a lot of dessert places here, a lot of boba places called Sunday's Best. Hey, it's PB says, yes, I remember the Amityville Horror House. That's why I'm like not sure if you want to live in Amityville. No, I mean, look, if I'd say this, if you can afford it, I would go Massapequa Park. Go on Google, and I think there may be some walking tours. Maybe I'll have to record it. In my opinion, and again, I'm biased, the best town on Long Island is Massapequa Park. It's such a nice town. Everything is very well kept. You have grocery stores, you have bars, restaurants. One of the best coffee shops in the area is called Massapequa Perk. It's right at the base of the Long Island Railroad Station in Massapequa Park. Now, even though I'm from Massapequa, right, the Massapequa Park train station is a little bit closer to my house. So I think if you're looking for close proximity to the train station and the best town in Nassau County, I would say it's Massapequa Park. It's a very, very nice town. Maybe once the weather improves, I'll head out to Massapequa Park and I'll record a walking video of the town. Because it's a cool place. It's really, really fun, particularly in the summer. Hey, Greg Peters, what's up? This is Love Korean Barbecue. Lit up with the red top there. Now, the good thing about living on Long Island is, yeah, it's cheaper in a way. Saying living on Long Island is a very broad statement, right? Because if you live out in the Hamptons or something, it's obviously not going to be less expensive than the city. But generally speaking, you can get a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house for $1 million. Here $1 million in the city, you're probably going to get a 1-bedroom or something, right? Five Senses and the food gallery. The one thing about Koreatown though is it's very, very narrow, particularly with a lot of the outdoor dining sheds. I think the city needs to do a little bit better urban planning, I guess, if you will. Because this is probably one of the most heavily, I should say, street traffic, pedestrian traffic streets in New York is 32nd Street. All right, let's cross over. Oh, did we start to buffer? I may need to reset my network settings since we were in Miami. You can see a lot of the restaurants and karaoke places here. Cosmo, I agree. I think that'd be great if they made Koreatown no vehicles at all, just pedestrians. They did the same thing in Chinatown, right? Was that Hell Street they did that? I may be confused with the names of the streets, but I think it is Pell Street. They blocked it off to vehicle traffic, or at least they did that on the weekends. This is H Mart here. Hey, Gene 1649, what's up? Good evening, Tom. Keep dry. I will. Thank you so much. I know Jimmy B says, man, what a difference from last night. Yeah, even what a difference from a few hours ago when I was in Wynwood, Miami. But the good news, according to our meteorologist in the chat, Cosmo, scary, it's supposed to be 62 degrees almost all week and bright sunshine. The city does kind of look cool when it rains though, doesn't it? You have the Tiger Sugar, which is a great boba place. And then this is one more look all the way down Koreatown. There may be some coastal flooding, I heard. We're not going to do it, but if we walk all the way to the west side, near the West Side Highway, particularly down as you head towards the World Trade Center, sometimes the water in the Hudson River is coming up over the bike path. I wonder if it's like that right now. Hey, John Kelly, says you're a machine, Tom, doing these streams out and this stuff. Thank you regardless. Thank you. Appreciate you. Wow, look at all this traffic. I like these shots of the city. This is like a good still shot right here. I feel like this view right here would be a good kind of like, you know, the lo-fi chill beats streams on YouTube that you could use to study. I think this is a pretty good picture for that, and you put like lo-fi music to it. Anyway. Oh yeah, Ren 1018 says K-Town is the busiest on the weekends. Now, something that's encouraging, which I think is going to take Miami to a whole new level, you're starting to see more diversity and choice in terms of the cuisine. And you really didn't see that before. Now, North Miami Beach, they're trying to make that the sort of like Koreatown / Chinatown. And there's actually some pretty decent places. Not as good as New York, obviously, but I think it'll get there over time. You know, it starts with one, then you get another restaurant, and then another one. I mean, every time I go to Miami, I just get more and more impressed. I mean, it's like, you know, just walking around the different neighborhoods. I was in Coral Gables for a little bit. I think that was on Tuesday. And wow, was Coral Gables like rocking, crazy. Yeah, it's insane. It's just a really, really awesome place. You see all this traffic backed up on 6th Avenue? Everybody's probably trying to wait for the Rangers game to get out. And then if you continue all the way up 6th, it'll take you right past Bryant Park. You can see Salesforce Tower in the distance, as well as Bank of America Tower. If you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams almost every night starting at 8:30, but now we're going to head over to Madison Square Garden, and hopefully we'll get there right as MSG is emptying out. Yeah, Cosmos says, I hope the people in illegal basements won't get flooded right now. That's the problem, particularly in the boroughs. It floods a lot. Like in Brooklyn, it floods like crazy. And a lot of non-New Yorkers, they don't really think about, you know, New York City being a place where it floods. Oh, no, it floods like crazy in some places. You really got to watch out. If you go to nyc.gov/flood mapper, it actually has an interactive flood mapper that you can utilize to your advantage if you're looking to buy property. It's probably best not to buy near a flood zone. Look at this, you have the FDNY blocking the entire street. And that's causing tons and tons of traffic. Look at that. Brian's telling you can make a lo-fi playlist for your channel. I was thinking about making like a separate lo-fi study channel where I take some of the 4K video that I've taken in the past and put it on an endless loop. I don't know, I think that'd be cool. Like, because I sometimes have that up if I'm studying late night or going through, you know, charts or doing work. I turn on a lot of those lo-fi YouTube streams just to help me concentrate and study. So I was thinking about compiling sort of like, let's say 20 hours of ASMR walking in New York and just putting it on an endless loop with those, with the music to it. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be an interesting perspective. Look at this. I'm not too sure. Hopefully everything's all right. A lot of time these calls are for like elevators that have gone down, smells of gas, right? Natural gas smell or something like that. You have the FDNY out working hard in this rain. D says just can't get enough in New York City, can you, Tom? Yeah, you know, I really didn't want to come back today, but I had to because a client, well, let me just wipe the lens. You know, a client that I've been chasing after for a long time, is finally in New York and available to see this property we have. And I want to get him in there as soon as possible. If you guys want to check out the listing that I'm going to be showing tomorrow, it's 5 Franklin Place. 5 Franklin Place. And finally, so I'm selling Unit 8A, and finally Unit 4A just went into contract. And that was really putting us at a disadvantage of selling that unit because they undercut us on the price. And it's a very similar unit. It's actually the same unit in terms of square footage, it just has different views. Anyway, but if you look at it, 5 Franklin Place, Unit 8A, we're now one of the, I think we're the last 3-bedroom apartment in the entire building. So I think we're gonna be able to sell it over the next month or two here. And speaking of the New York Rangers, a very famous, one of the most famous New York Rangers ever, has his unit right above our listing. Hey, Hawaii, what's up? Good to see you, Hawaii. Now, I think you went to a Rangers game last time you were in New York, right? I remember when we met up, you told me you were going to go to one, or you went to one before we met. I forget. But yeah, gotta be up early for that. Okay, everybody, this is the brand new entrance to Penn Station. This is West 31st Street and 7th Avenue. We're actually outside of, I think, one of the largest migrant shelters in the city. I believe the largest migrant shelter is the Row Hotel. I think this one is the second largest. Let me try to wipe the lens. This actually looks pretty cool in the rain, doesn't it? This is the brand new entrance to Madison Square Garden and New York City's Penn Station. This is the Penn 2 project that was put on by Vornado Realty Trust. Let's cross to the north so we can get a better shot of it. Hey, Dan Sang, what's up? This is, wow, it's absolutely pouring tonight. It is, dude. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. And there it is. The brand new entrance to Madison Square Garden. You can see this guy setting up when the Rangers come out. It's probably going to be, is it called, what is it called? When you sing or dance for people on the street? I think it's called busking. Is that the appropriate term, busking? Something like that. You know what I'm curious about, guys? I'll tell you what I'm curious about. Here's what I'm curious about. You see this food cart right here? When the Rangers game gets out, how much money do you think this guy is going to take in? Like, if we could just have a guess in the chat. I'll tell you my guess. So this gentleman is placed absolutely perfectly right outside Madison Square Garden and Penn Station when all the Rangers fans are going to be getting out. I think he'll bring in, for the Rangers rush, I think he'll bring in $600. What do you guys think? Hey, NBA Elias, what's going on? I hope you're well. Thanks for having me stream in the rain. No problem. Tomorrow's going to be a big, important stream. We have a lot of contrarian indicators in the market. I'm sure you've seen the Barron's cover as well as the cover to The Economist. Both giving contrarian signs. Jeans is $250 to $300. Nats is $25. No. No. A lot more. Michael Johns is $300. Well, look, if a hot dog is, let's say if he charges $7 for a hot dog, and maybe you have, I think he's gonna get more than 100 customers. Let's say that. Bottomless coffee, you think he's gonna bring in $400? I think that's fair, right around there. All right, now everybody, for those of you who haven't seen this, this is the brand new Penn 2 project. This place looks sweet. This is awesome. I'm so glad that they did this. They totally revitalized Penn Station. And I think it looks a lot better in the rain too, doesn't it? It looks more futuristic. And this is a picture perfect shot of the Empire State Building amongst all the fog here. Quip says everybody will go inside a place to eat, not stand in the rain at the food cart. Yeah, but the Rangers game is just going to get out. So there's usually a huge push of people coming out of the Rangers game, going over to the east side, going over to the bars. So kind of getting the food on the way. All right, you can see the crowd just starting to come out here. You'll see a lot of people selling t-shirts, all that. Terry says, what are they doing with the Pennsylvania hotel? They totally took it down. I mean, look at this. It almost looks a little bit awkward having this big vacant plot of land there. I'm not too sure what it's going to be. It may be mixed use building that's going to be built there. But again, that's going to be all part of this big movement to revitalize not only Penn Station, but the Penn District as well. And not to sound like a broken record, but we've talked about this before. You know, chances are if you're a tourist, or particularly an international tourist, and you're flying into John F. Kennedy Airport, right, JFK, well, maybe you get on the air train and you take it to Jamaica Station, and then you take the Long Island Railroad to Penn Station, and you want to make a good impression. The city, we as New Yorkers, we want to make a good impression on people visiting. And over the years, it hasn't really been that great of an impression. So I think with this new futuristic, state-of-the-art kind of Class A buildings we have here, I think it makes a really good impression. And that's the brand new entrance to the LIRR. You could also get the 1, 2, 3 AC&E trains. And if you walk all the way to the back, you can get the New Jersey Transit and the Amtrak. NBA Elias says, yes, Tom, I saw both covers. And news media types are mixed at the moment on Fed rate cuts. Predictions are all over the place. Yeah, I think, as a little bit of a contrarian indicator, this was a long time ago. So this Thursday, when I send out the newsletter, I'm going to include an excerpt from a newsletter that I wrote 2 years ago. Well, not 2 years ago, about a year ago. And it was talking about how the Barron's cover was essentially a big dollar bill, and it had George Washington, flexing his muscles. And the headline story was the almighty dollar. And this was when the dollar was ripping. This was when it was the talk of the town, particularly on corporate earnings reports, was that earnings are getting banged because of a very, very strong dollar. And the reason for that, we'll quickly explain it. When you are a multinational company and you're selling, let's say if you're a US-based company and you're selling products and services abroad, and you have a very, very strong US dollar and global currencies are very weak, when you go to convert that foreign currency back into US dollars so you could report your earnings, you can buy a lot less US dollars with those foreign currencies, right? So that impacts sales, that impacts revenues, and that impacts earnings. And right as that Barron's article came out, I'm like, that's going to be the top for the US dollar. Like, that is the top for the dollar. And it was. So I'm not saying this is going to be the top for the bull market. I think we're poised to pull back some here and head into a correction, which is normal. I mean, if you look at these true market leaders, these TMLs, the Nvidias, SMCI, and many, many other stocks, and we'll do an in-depth dive tomorrow. I mean, these things have run already like 200, 300%. So if you look at Friday's price action, a lot of the leaders that we talk about had big outflows and very, very big reversal days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back here a little bit. And we have the economists and Barron's with those overly bullish articles. All right, everybody, this is the old entrance to the Long Island Railroad, right here on 34th Street and 7th. Just to give you some perspective here, the rain is piling up pretty fast. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new, because we do these live streams every night starting at 8:30, where we explore New York and talk about the financial markets. Hey, Manny Explorers, what's up? Now this is all part of the new Penn 2 project around here. But I think if we go any further west, it's going to be way too windy. So we will kind of play it safe and stick around here. Now to the left of us, this is Macy's. This is the largest department store in the entire world. Now we're on the corner of 7th Avenue and 34th. So you have the main Macy's right here. But if we continue to walk down 34th Street, eastbound, that's going to be Herald Square. So that's really the iconic kind of Macy's facade that everybody knows and loves, is over on that side. Now, if you hear all those NYPD sirens, it's not necessarily saying that there's an emergency. What they do is they know that the Rangers game is going to come out, and there's a lot of taxis and Ubers that just sit in front of Madison Square Garden and block the traffic. So the NYPD will periodically just drive by and keep the traffic flowing. Hey, Stan, CNBC shows Japan, yen, and euro up against the dollar now. That's unsustainable, I think. Well, Stan, I think that's one of the big things that's been, a very big driver for the Japanese equities, right? Generally speaking, a weaker yen, right, is stock market positive. Also next week, I think we have Oracle reporting earnings. We'll talk about that too tomorrow. Hopefully it's not raining tomorrow. Oh, look at this. This is a brand new Wendy's. Never noticed it here before. Now we're headed northbound. So we're coming up on 36th Street and 7th. Now I will say one thing. Check this out. If you go to the subway station at 34th Street, Penn Station, and you go to the 1, 2, and 3 train track, I think that's in like urgent need of repair. Urgent need of repair. I wouldn't be surprised if in the not so distant future you see something on the news that, part of the roof collapsed there onto the tracks. It is so bad. Like every time, and if you've ever been to the Uptown 1 train platform, and if you go all the way to the back, you can literally see holes in the ceiling up to the sidewalks. It's pretty concerning. And there's water pouring in the train station. And all they do is the MTA just puts a few mop buckets and garbage bins there. So I don't know. I think the city needs to address that. Next time I'm down there, I'll take some pictures. The reason why I brought it up right now is because it's pouring raining. And I'm like, it must be an absolute waterfall on the 1 train terminal right now at Penn Station. That's like an urgent need of repair. I mean, if someday, if there was a big breaking headline on the news that says, the street collapses onto the 1 train terminal or the 1 train tracks at Penn Station, I would not be surprised at all. That's like the station that I think is in the most need of repair in the city. Does anybody agree with me on that? Are there any New Yorkers here that frequent the 34th Street Uptown 1 train platform? Because that's just crazy. It looks like a third world country in there. And I'm not trying to be negative. I think it's dangerous for the public. Hey, Aloe Willow, what's up? Cosmos feel like half the stations are like that. Manny Explores says most New York City subway stations are like that. Some are worse than others, but I definitely agree. Fulton Street's not bad. All right, I may need to plug in my phone here. Let's find a good spot to do that. Someone says, Tom, I'm sure you wish you were still in South Beach. I definitely do, but look on the bright side. We could pretend like we're in South Beach right now. The human brain is really, really weird. I'm reading this book on, it's like a neuroscience book. I don't want to recommend it just yet, because I want to finish it. But you can pretty much convince your brain of anything. you can convince yourself of quite literally anything. So, you know, walking in the rain, this disgusting weather, you could just quite literally brainwash yourself into thinking that this weather is great. You could just continuously say, you know what, I love it when it's disgusting and raining out. This is like, this makes me happy. I love this. And if you just relentlessly bash that into your head, you're gonna believe it. It's kind of crazy, right? And there were some interesting examples. There was this professor, not to bore you guys to death, but this professor ran a lot of studies, and he's saying like, this is how kind of like cults are formed. So when you have these really crazy people that are infatuated about these cults, obviously it's the wrong thing to do. But if you're consistently told something over and over and over again, you're going to believe it to be true. So it's strange. Anyway, hey, NBA Elias, thank you so much for your $10 donation. Just thank you again for being out here on the chat. Good luck on the property showing tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I think the market's picking up. I'm confident that we're going to get a deal done, so. All right, everybody, let's pull off to the side here for a moment. I'll put you guys down on this beautiful garbage can with this little piece of pizza here, and we'll try to charge up the phone, all right? All right. Give us a minute. Second. All right, I think we should be good. Okay, so we are now pushing onwards. Hey, John, so wild. I chanced upon this. Was just enjoying a walkthrough with the C train ride, 119 bus, now Union City, looking at the Empire State Building. Oh, cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Arius says, bro, you travel a lot. 1 minute you're in New York City, the next minute you're in Miami. Wish I was rich enough to afford that kind of lifestyle. I wish I was too. You and me both. So it looks like we have something in common. Okay, we are now coming up on Times Square. This is 41st Street. You have the Red Lobster here. But we're going to come up on the main subway terminal here in just a moment. Oh, nice. Ace Options Trading. This is the Rangers 140. Love that. Now, one of my goals this year is to get some more Yankee games. What do you guys think? Look at all these food delivery bikes. Joe Drive versus Mets. Look, I'm not opposed to going to some Mets games. It's very easy to get there. You just take the 7 train right there. But for me, it's like, one of the things I realized about New York, I'm in New York so often, quite obviously, but very, very seldom do I do any activities. Right? Like sports activities. I never go to a Knicks game, never go to a Nets game, never go to a Yankee game, never go to a Mets game. And I think I should start taking advantage of that because it's not really that expensive either. I think you can go to a Yankee game now for like 20 bucks. Someone says US Open. Yeah, that's another thing. I think they play tennis very close to Citi Field as well. All right, so this is Times Square, 42nd Street. We're actually standing directly outside 1 Times Square. We have the FDNY coming down here. Across the other way, we'll head over towards Salesforce Tower in Bryant Park. Someone says you should go to Paris for the Olympics. I'd love to go to Paris. That's another thing. I want to travel internationally. I gotta get my passport. It's another thing I gotta do. Now, the NYPD, I believe they spent $2 million on this police robot, and it's now decommissioned. So a few weeks ago, we were actually down in the Times Square subway terminal, trying to look out for that robot, that police robot, and it's decommissioned already. So, I guess money well spent. Wow, it's really, really coming down now, guys. Wow, that's wild. Hey, Dustin Jackson, thank you so much for your very kind $10 donation. Thank you, thank you. This is Getting Pumped, starting our New York City vacation at TWA Hotel Thursday, then to Midtown this Friday. Your streams have been a great help. Hey, that's awesome. So that's the hotel at the airport, right? Very cool. Well, welcome to New York. Thank you for your donation. I think you're gonna have a good time. You said you're starting the vacation this week. Well, please God, it's not gonna be raining. I don't think it is. I think it's gonna be 60 degrees all week. So this is perfect timing. This is fantastic. Dustin says, oh yes, huge plane buff. Very cool. So I think today I flew on a Boeing 737 MAX 8 or something like that. I don't know if that's the planes that have been having all these problems, but I mean, talk about an embarrassment. I mean, how embarrassing is that for Boeing? Every single day I see on the news, almost every day, you know, Boeing, the door fell off, the wheel fell off. You know, it's like, what's going on with that company? It's crazy. Now, I'm not an aviation expert, but a lot of you have been saying, let me wipe the camera lens. A lot of you have been saying it's because they have outsourced a lot of their manufacturing. Cooking says you weren't expecting my floral umbrella? Really? You shouldn't expect anything less from me than this stunning floral umbrella. Wow. I don't think we're going to be able to walk down 6th Avenue, guys. I just turned the corner and the wind is like full blast. We are now standing outside of Bank of America Tower. This is Brian Moynihan's company right here. So you have Bank of America Tower to your north. You have the gorgeous Bryant Park over to the west. Now I'm getting excited, and I think you guys can probably guess why I'm excited. It's almost spring, right? April showers bring May flowers, but it's only March. Pretty soon, Bryant Park is going to look beautiful again. They're going to take down the, what's it called? The ice skating rink. Oh, look at this. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some flooding in the city tonight, guys. Look at that. The sewer is almost completely filled. Wow. Mohammed says, love the umbrella, Tom. I appreciate that. Super stylish, super fun, super cool. Chris says the Andaz 5th Avenue Hotel on the other side of Bryant Park is amazing. You're correct, it is amazing. I stayed there once, and you know what? They're doing a full renovation on the inside now. So you're correct. It's quite literally directly across the street from the two lions that sit on the Stephen Schwartzman building. So Patience and Fortitude. And some of the hotel rooms there have outdoor balcony spaces. It's pretty cool. And that's undergoing a complete renovation as well on the inside. So another hotel, we've talked about this before, the Park Lane Hotel. That's a really nice hotel, guys. So if you're looking, especially, I'll say this, especially if you're going to visit New York City during the holidays, particularly during Thanksgiving, if you can get a room at the Park Lane Hotel facing Central Park, you're going to have a front row seat. Well, the parade turns a little bit before that, but you could see it out the window. Or you could stay at the Ritz-Carlton. That's right there. But the Park Lane Hotel was also fully renovated during the pandemic. But in my opinion, if you want to see the best front row seat view of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, then the hotel at 1 Central Park West is the best place to do that. That is the Trump International Hotel and Tower. Gail says, I would rather be in New York than Miami. Nice. Let me catch up on some of the comments. Hey, Patrick, New York, what's up? Amy T, welcome. And Zozo Bob, what's up? Yeah, it's probably a beautiful, balmy 78 degrees and clear skies tonight in Miami for the UFC event right at the Kaseya Center. Now, after we wrapped up our live stream last night from Brickell, I walked over to Brickell Key and it was, oh my God, it was stunning. I took some photos from Brickell Key outside of the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, looking towards the Aston Martin residences. I mean, just an unbelievable futuristic city, Miami. Absolutely love it. All right, let's start heading back down. But you know what? I think I actually just got out of Miami just in time because this is the peak spring break. And spring break craziness, I don't really need to be there for all that, so. Vivian Francesca is 76 degrees in Miami. Love that. Yeah, you know, before my flight, earlier today, I flew out at 3 o'clock. I think I landed at JFK at 5:30 p.m. I took my Vespa to Wynwood. Loved it. I was sitting in Panther Coffee, which I've said this a bunch of times, but you know, Panther Coffee now has a location in New York City, which is great. It's a great coffee spot. The Flag films the Sugar Sean UFC match. Is he fighting tonight? I don't know. I heard that someone sent me that Mike Tyson is fighting again. It's crazy, right? I think Mike Tyson's almost 60 years old and he's going to be doing another competitive fight. Some people are just built different. Some people are just built different. It's crazy. This is the Margaritaville on 7th Avenue. This always reminds me of Jimmy Buffett. God rest his soul. Urban NYC says, why aren't my comments going through? I'm not too sure. David Tata says he's fighting Jake Paul. It'll be a money grab for Tyson. Oh, for sure. I'm sure he's going to make an absolute fortune off of this. Well, look, even at, you know, and I'm not a fight expert whatsoever, so, I mean, don't even really listen to anything I have to say. But I don't know if you could pay me, you know, millions of dollars to fight Mike Tyson, even at 57 years old. I don't even, like, if somebody offered me $3 million, I honestly don't think I'd do it. And I'm being serious about that.
No chance, it's this way.
You know, in combat sports, if you don't know what you're doing, you could get seriously injured. I mean, particularly UFC guys, boxers, the traumatic brain injury is sad to watch, the progression of that. So for $3 million, that's not worth $3 million. Crossover. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you fight Mike Tyson for $3 million? Yeah. AUS Fly Girl says Mike Tyson is a weapon upon himself. Yeah, Donaldson's good health is better than wealth. I wouldn't fight him either. Yeah, and mainly because I'm not trained. I'm not a fighter. So if you get thrown into a ring with these people, you know, it's possible that you could also get killed, right? Because I would 100% get KO'd within 30 seconds, and then maybe I hit my head wrong on the mat, and I go into some freak coma. You never know. So. Stance as you do it? That's hilarious. Look, I give those fighters a lot of credit, particularly the UFC. YouTube always recommends, you know, those UFC fight highlights to me, and my gosh, some of those knockouts are brutal. I mean, you can't tell me that some of those fighters aren't gonna have brain damage 100% in 10 years. I mean, they take some crazy blows. It's insane. Now this store here, this Kava, has anyone eaten here? They IPO'd recently, and everybody's been talking about them. Yeah, RK, this is once you wake up, you'll have $3 million. Someone says, love combat sports, builds character. For sure. I like the showmanship. I think that's what's the most entertaining for me, is just like the showmanship of it, right? Now, I wouldn't say that I'm a fighting fan. Like, I'm not like, oh man, I gotta, you know, I know everything about the fighters. But I mean, you can't tell me you didn't pay attention to it when Conor McGregor was running his mouth and talking all crazy. I mean, that was entertaining. It was hilarious. And I think a lot of people watch it for that aspect of it as well. And, you know, to tie it kind of back into finance and just business in general, it's not enough, I think, just to be the best fighter on earth. You kind of have to have the personality behind it to sell the fight, right? That's kind of what I think about with, you know, Jake Paul, right? The kid, young guy, you know, he's been causing such a stir. And he may not be the best boxer, right? I think he's probably a really good boxer, but he's not the best ever. But he will 100%, you know, outsell everybody else just because he has that personality to do it. So it's interesting. You need the showmanship to sell the fight, but you also need to be extremely talented to actually perform when you're in there. So it's essentially you're taking on two jobs too. It's crazy. So versus Muhammad Ali was the greatest. Is the lens a little bit blurry? Let me see. I think it's as good as we're gonna do. I know, AUS Fly Girls, Mike Tyson's life story is incredible, for sure. Yeah, I mean, he grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, which is the worst of the worst. Even today, Brownsville, Brooklyn is not good. All right, let's cross to the downside now. You know, reading some of the stories about Mike Tyson, though, I mean, could you imagine owning a tiger? I mean, how does that work? How do you even go about getting that? Pro fast guys, just hope the Tyson and Paul match is not an expedition. Yeah, I mean, the way I think about it is, I really do believe Mike Tyson is wired a certain way, right? And I really don't think that you can put Mike Tyson in the ring with somebody, like in an actual fight, and he doesn't have like this innate ability to turn it on 100%. I don't think he has any restraint. Like, you can kind of see it in his eyes. If you watched interviews with him, I mean, when he even starts to talk about boxing, like, you could see it in his eyes that this guy's a killer. I mean, so I don't think he even has it in him to take it easy on anybody. Would you guys agree with that?
I don't know.
Like, he's a full-on aggressor. Like, he is. So I don't think he's gonna go easy. We'll see. Now, it's on Netflix, so I'm interested to see how much revenue this is gonna drive for the company. We'll see. We are Macy's. Oh yeah, Stan's sports betting is in for an absolute fortune for sure. I'm interested to see how this impacts Netflix. Does anybody know like what the sales are going to be? So if you're a Netflix subscriber, you automatically get access to the fight, or you have to pay something in addition to that. I don't know how that's going to work, but maybe they're betting that this is going to drive Netflix subscriptions. I think it will. Let's see what it does for the stock. Who knows? All right, we're gonna head back to 30th Street. Hey, Soho Joe, what's going on? Says, hey Tom, it's good to see you. Likewise, good to see you too. John Johnson says he's held back before, just a lot later in life, like on that one reporter. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that for sure. I'll probably watch it. Not gonna lie. I'll probably watch that. If I have to pay like $40 for it, I'll pay the $40 and I'll watch it. I think that'll be entertaining. To see actual Mike Tyson fight again. You know, that was way before my time, so. I wonder where they're gonna do that at. I wonder which venue they're gonna pick. I feel as if Mike Tyson's gonna fight again, it needs to be in an iconic arena like Madison Square Garden. Mark Bark says I'm gonna watch the fight and subscribe to Netflix. Well, there you go. Wow. TAZ. Says all Netflix subscribers will be able to watch it, so no pay-per-view. Well, then I think that's going to drive a ridiculous amount of Netflix subscriptions. I really do. It'll be interesting to see if they talk about that on the earnings call. If that's the case, they're not doing like the pay-per-view, then I'll probably, how much is Netflix now? Like 14 bucks? I'll probably sign up too. I'll pay the 14 bucks to see that. And then I'll probably forget to cancel it and I'll pay for it for 3 years. Someone says it's at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Huh. Alright guys, I think it's getting late because we started late. Oh man, these kids must be getting soaked. But if you guys have been enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams every single night starting at 8:30. Usually we walk around the city, talk about the financial markets, but today's Saturday. Now on the corner of 34th Street and 5th Avenue. Hey, go for Hokies. What's up? Hey, you made it. Welcome back to New York. What a warm welcome we got back in this great city. Hey, AUS Fly Girl, thank you so much for your very generous $10 donation. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Man, look at how wild it's coming down now. Actually kind of nice. Because it's not too cold out. That's the thing. I think it's going to push up like 50 degrees. Now, the sidewalk on 5th Avenue here is like a lake. Look at this. There's like 3 inches of water rolling down the sidewalk here on 5th Avenue. You know what I may do, looking out over the next few years? You know, Elon Musk is building the Tesla bot. I'm sure you're all familiar. Ooh! That food delivery bicycle guy almost got knocked off by this Suburban. You know, what if we buy one of those Tesla robots and we have the robot holding the camera and streaming, and then I just do all the voiceover. So you can still watch Walks on Wall Street, but we'll just have the Tesla bot battling the elements. Battling the elements, I should say. Thoughts on that? Now this place, I gotta give this place a shout out because it's very, very good. This is like a tea place. It's like a sit-down tea place. Prince. Oops, guys, we have to end it here because the gimbal died. Ran out of battery. So thank you all for joining us. We will be back tomorrow, live from New York City at 8:30. So if you enjoyed the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. And check out this place, Prince Tea House. Very good. Recommend it. 2 thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining us in the rain here in New York City. Good night and good luck. Let's see if I can get this off of here. Man, it's really coming down in buckets, isn't it? All right, guys, take care.